Welcome to Sandwiches of History. Today from the Rumford Cook Book of 1908, we're going to be making the cheese butter sandwich. Yeah, first thing we're going to do is cream some butter. Alright, to our butter we add sharp cheese that's been grated, Worcestershire sauce, prepared mustard, and of course anchovy paste. That all mixed together. Now we just put our filling onto buttered bread. That's right, more butter. You might be asking, why buttered bread, Barry? Alright, so here's the deal. Back in 1908, bread was made at home, and homemade bread, if you've ever made it, you know it stales really quickly. So the butter is often used as a way to protect the bread from the moisture inside the sandwich, and also to help keep the bread together so it doesn't crumble apart. Now, I agree that this is a lot of butter for a sandwich, and you don't really need it here because there's so much in the filling, but 1908, what are you going to do? Okay, let's give this cheese butter sandwich a go. Not bad, actually. A little cheese, a little tanginess, a little salt. Anchovy paste kicked in. And a lot of folks have weighed in over the years and said, has anchovy paste changed since back then? I've done a lot of looking into this. I have not found any evidence that anchovy paste is different today than it was then. And I know about gentleman's relish and I know all that. But if you find definitive proof, let me know. I do want to try and plus it up a little. I'm going to add some mango chutney. I'm hoping that the sweetness and the tanginess kind of cuts through all of this and offsets the salt a little bit. I know what you're thinking. Barry, the grilled cheese treatment, it was right there. Here's the deal. I'd have to apply butter or mayonnaise to the outside, and this sandwich is already rich. I could have put it in the toaster and just had the butter in the inside go to the outside, but I think it would have sogged the bread out more than toasted it up. So, I opted out of the grilled cheese treatment. Okay, let's give this cheese butter sandwich plussed up with a little mango chutney a go. And that does kind of work. Mango chutney, of course, bridges the gap between sweet and savory. And so it's helping to do that with the Worcestershire sauce. The anchovy paste is completely tamped down. There's just a little note of saltiness now. And it's gone really well with the cheese, really well with the butter. All right, before we get into the cheese butter sandwich, some of you ask, why do you cut the bread in half in advance? And that's because if I'm unsure if a recipe is going to be good, or if I don't want to eat a lot of food, I make a half sandwich instead of a full sandwich, so that way I avoid food waste, or I don't eat too much. All right, so the original cheese butter sandwich, clearly this is intended as a tea sandwich. I don't think it was even intended to be as big a sandwich as I made it. I think it's supposed to be like a little bite. And it wasn't bad, it was a little salty. I think they over-indexed a little bit on the anchovy paste, but it wasn't horrible like some other dishes that I've had. It was rich between the butter in the filling and the butter on the bread. But as a tea sandwich, I'll give it like a 5.5. Plus up with the mango chutney, that's up to a 6.5. That actually did a great job of tamping down the saltiness from the anchovy paste, and it went well with everything in there. In fact, I'm going to finish that. Will I make this again? Probably not. All right, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.